Well, I knew I was sick when I was about 19 and I was in the Navy. And I was in boot camp and this woman was talking to me and she wasn't moving her mouth. And I told myself, I said, I'll never let anyone know I'm crazy, because that was like the first time I ever heard an audio hallucination. That was really weird, and I was just, boot camp was torture psychologically and spiritually. I had so many thoughts in my head, like Emmanuel kept on saying in my head, and I looked it up years later, it means God is with us. And I just go, well, and then the actual Navy, I went to Iceland and I drank. I drank to cure the symptoms, and it just wound up going nowhere. I got out honorably under psychiatric conditions because I had a suicide attempt. And then my 20s were covered. I would just cover it up. I couldn't ever tell my parents, and as soon as I read psychiatrically disabled or had psychiatric problems from the Navy DD 214, that's when I said, I need a job. I'm not crazy. I fought this illness. I wound up in California. I became homeless, and I lived that homeless life and went bonkers. By the time I got out of California, I was in Iowa State Hospital. And so I came home, they let me go home with my mom, and then I found HCMC, and I wound up jumping out of a second-story window, being homeless in Minneapolis. And finally, they put me on disability, and I've been with, fighting addiction, occasional slips in my 30s. I go to AA a lot now and NA and stuff, so I've got that under control, and that's the biggest blessing of my life. And it was before my mother passed away, too. That was very sad. That was hard. That's my best friend in the whole world. Grief was, I think, it doesn't compare. The mental illness, some of the delusions, and then like grief, there's no comparison. They're both awful, scary, recovery, solving. You have to really work at it to get over that kind of stuff with like mental health. And I looked at things in California, and by that time I was hallucinating a lot. People called me the hallucinator. People would be coming up to me and go, there's nothing there, because I'd be trying to stamp out this big weird snail that I was seeing, and it was really scary. I thought a UFO, and some guy would say, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, And I didn't realize it. Some guy came up to me and said, I'm schizophrenic. I go, what the heck's that? Anyway, and until I got educated, and it became a reality that I really have this disease. If I don't take meds, I have PRNs for hallucinations when I see really scary things. There's something in my brain that actually connects with the visual part. Taking my meds is how I stay out of the hospital. Finally, I got on some meds. It's like, I'm not the skinniest as I used to be, but my mind is so much happier and freer. And I took so many DBT classes, and I took it twice. I've been to day treatment a number of times, which has been interesting and self-fulfilling. And they've got some people that know DBT and that kind of stuff. And I'm doing this social skills training, which is helping me right now learn how to communicate and talk and how to deal with emotions, And for my anger was opposite to emotion. If I was mad about something or found somebody imperfect or not right, I would say opposite to emotion. I use a lot of AA book, big book stuff to help me out too. The acceptance prayer. It's everything is exactly as it's supposed to be right now. It's not a mistake. Self-esteem, a job, give me a purpose. So what do you do for a living? Oh, I mess around with art a lot. I work at this art place out in St. Paul. I have something to say about myself. This conversation, oh yeah, my uncle is an artist, or something, So it's something to talk about. It's something I enjoy, something that it's not easy all the time. I would tell them that there's something about you that everybody has to only themselves, their gifts. Their gifts, everyone has different ones. Find your nook in life. You know, it took me 40 years to realize I enjoyed art. I think with anyone, sobriety or not abusing drugs and alcohol is the ticket to sanity and spiritual freedom, to not be scared to live.